Clark, you'd think that team chemistry would just improve as the season goes along, but maybe not if you have personality issues in that locker room.
You know, Kevin, it's one of the most fragile elements in team sports: chemistry, culture, accepting roles, sacrificing your own individual game for the good of the team. And I think it's always a work in progress.
And as a leader, as I know you were when you played, I'm sure you were dealing with those things all season long.
Yeah, you try to lead by example, but also there's opportunity and times when you have to step up and voice what you see that could be detrimental to your team's success.
A look at the starting group for the Magic. At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fultz is out there with Evan Fournier, and it's Okeke in at the 3 spot. And for the Mavericks, we've got Tim Hardaway Jr. He's out there with Jalen Brunson. Doncic out there with Porzingis, and it's Finney Smith in at the 4 slot. To the inside, Porzingis uses the glass to finish the layup.
Well, you look at Porzingis and his size 7'3", he consistently torches defenders around the rim.
Fultz the pass to Okeke. Kicks to Gordon. And it's Finney Smith with the rebound. Doncic left side. And stolen by Gordon. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And Doncic, here we go.
Well, you can't let Doncic have these types of opportunities, guys. When you aren't close to him, this is what happens.
A slow start here for Orlando in this one. 6-point game. And there's the foul. It's on Jalen Brunson. That is his first foul of the game. On defense, Dallas for 3, Fournier. Porzingis with the rebound.
Still can't get anything going here after 3 tries.
A little bit of a down season for Evan Fournier in 2018-19.
Yeah, it was, Kevin. I mean, he got the same minutes, but his percentages were down. He's out there for his offense, so he's got to be more efficient going forward.
Down low. The basket good off the assist from Fultz.
The defense looking helpless here. Fournier is solid as going despite getting hit. Really strong playing through contact.
Brunson, no good.
Not a problem when that's your first miss of the game. Strong start.
And there's the foul. It's on Jalen Brunson. That'll be his second foul of the game. J.J. Barea is checked in for Jalen Brunson. Now here's Fultz, guarded by Hardaway, and the foul called on Tim Hardaway Jr. That's his first foul. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Curry comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Terrence Ross is checked in for Orlando. Augustine comes in for Markelle Fultz. Outside Fournier. 6 on the shot clock. The shot from 20 feet away. The Magic again can't hit.
Boy, that's got to be terribly frustrating there. I mean, with the defense not hustling and he still misses, boy, he wishes he had that one back.
Kleber, the pass to Porzingis. Here's Kleber. Vucevic defending, and he gets the bucket. And it's 8 points for Porzingis.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Here's Augustine. Porzingis with the block.
Boy, Porzingis doing a nice job staying in position and then using his reach to block shots.
And the dunk by Doncic.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Tell you what, forget about easing into the game. They came out with guns blazing.
Here's the teardrop.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
The 11-footer. Porzingis can't hit. Well, it was the Dallas Mavericks winning their last game against Cleveland.
You know, the Magic last year, they hired Steve Clifford as head coach. He's known for his defensive systems, and they allow the 5th fewest points in the league, and they're 6th in block shots. So defense clearly much improved for them.
All right, a chance to check out the stats for J.J. Barea. Last season's performance for him. Last season chipped in 11 points per game, 5 assists and 2 rebounds. And his playmaking really stands out, making his teammates better offensively with his terrific passing.
Yeah, he's outstanding at controlling the tempo. I mean, keeps the ball moving, and of course, he finds the open man.
Dallas again turning it over. Coming into this having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
Mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up.
Well, you know, it takes character, poise, toughness to win on the road, and that's exactly what they showed last game.
Aminu, no one around him. Another miss by Orlando.
Wide open, and still, surprisingly, he wasn't able to cash in.
And the shot is good.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
And to battle back, they've got to shore up the defense. I mean, there's no other way to come back from a deficit unless you play good defense. So hard, actually impossible to cut into the lead when you have a guy struggling this badly.
To the paint, here's Marjanovic, and it's off the back rim, no good. For 3, Fournier, nailed from three-point land. Fournier's got 5 now.
Fournier's teammates trust him when he fires the pull-up jump shot. I mean, the defense cannot afford to lay off of him or they're cooked.
And so it's Dallas, heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. And we'll be right back after. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Mavericks.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
This is how the floor looks for the Magic starting the second. Bamba is out there with Aminu. Then there's DJ Augustine. Then it's Terrence Ross. And it's Okeke in at the small forward. A different look for Dallas. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Doncic. And Tim Hardaway Jr. subbed in for J.J. Barea. Here's Aminu. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Outside Hardaway. It's stolen by Aminu. And here comes Augustine late in the fast break. Count it.
When you look at Bamba, he has extraordinary length. And because of that, he's able to finish over most defenders.
Mavericks leading by 3. And the basket by Curry.
And you talk about the best defensive head coaches in the league. Steve Clifford has to be on that short list.
I would agree with you, partner. I mean, his teams play hard, they play smart, they play with discipline, and that usually is a reflection of the coach, and a good one.
Pass to Finney-Smith. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And year 3, the best of Dorian Finney-Smith's career.
Yeah, you know, he upped his scoring rate, guys, and rebounding. He became more efficient and undrafted out of college, played his college ball at Florida, and he's made himself a nice home in the NBA.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Brunson's checked in. Fultz, he's checked in for the Magic. He's off on the second. Mark, you were so good at such an early age in your basketball career. At what point did you personally realize just how far the game could take you?
You know, it really resonated with me, Kevin, I think at a summer basketball camp at Miami of Ohio, when some of the better campers, high school campers, were asked to play with the college guys at night. And then during pickup games in my hometown of Cleveland with some of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jim Jones and the late Terry Furlow and Mike Mitchell, and being able to compete somewhat with those guys at 15 and 16 years of age, and having them encourage me to keep going and that I'd have a chance to do what they were doing at the time, which was play pro ball.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, last season the Magic broke a 6-season playoff drought. Nick Vucevic was the franchise's first All-Star in 7 seasons. It's been a long rebuild from the Dwight Howard era. We'll see where the team goes from here, but Kevin, they're happy to just be playing games that matter night in and night out.
All right, thank you very much, David. Hardaway finds Marjanovic. Back to Hardaway. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It goes on Mohamed Bamba.
Boy, an attacker who's not afraid to get a little rugged and physical. I like Hardaway Jr.'s disposition, fellas.
And the big contract for Tim Hardaway Jr. back in 2017, Clark. 4 years, $71 million.
Hey, sometimes timing is everything. We know that in our world and in all the other worlds out there. And think about that now. Tim Hardaway Jr. has made more money than his all-star father made in his whole career. Hardaway Jr., young and athletic, and a really rock-solid player at both ends.
Finney Smith kicks to Brunson. Dallas moving it around. Porzingis is doubled. Orlando grabs the miss. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, on the road, their defense was just overrun. Couldn't match the intensity of the opponent, and it cost them.
And you know what, guys? It just seemed like they never really had the kind of energy necessary. They just weren't comfortable on the defensive end.
He's off on the first. Aaron Gordon, he's checking in for Al-Farouq Aminu. And the second free throw, good. The Mavericks leading. Kleba, the pass to Brunson. Hardaway kicks to Finney Smith. Porzingis is doubled. Yes, that goes in. Porzingis has got 10 points in the game.
Well, he's cooking with grease. He's got things flaming up, looking for an opportunity every time down the floor when he's that hot.
Pass to Vucevic. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Ross with the bounce pass. 6 to shoot. Fade away. And Vucevic with the basket on the assist from Ross. Vucevic has got his first bucket of the night. And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. And the 6'7" swingman, Terrence Ross, the number 8 pick out of Washington.
Well, you know, the shooting and leaping ability of Ross, phenomenal. I mean, I think the defensive end is where he can solidify his game and really improve. He's got all the tools, though, to be an excellent two-way player.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Luka Doncic, he's checked in for Dorian Finney-Smith. And Barea subbed in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Fournier with the ball. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
And you know that's how it goes with him. I mean, his hot streaks, guys, don't last minutes. They last days.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
And Doncic gets it to go.
Doncic showing you his ability to finish. I really respect his aggressiveness in taking it to the hoop and handling contact.
Here's Fultz. Nice D from Doncic.
Well, you know, stopping him is never easy to do, but the defense was strong there.
And the dunk by Porzingis.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think.
That's exactly how you send it. Two hands and down.
And it's blocked. 36 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Blanketed by the D, he fights to the rim for the layup. And now a 5-point Maverick lead. Now here's Fultz, guarded by Barea. Fultz, the pass to Vucevic. Got a piece of it. And here we go. Fast break. Barea's got it. Bucket is good. And the Mavericks lead by 7.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
To the middle. Here's Gordon. And it's nails the buzzer beater.
Resourceful move there, ending the period.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. There was no stopping Kristaps Porzingis in the first half. He had 16 points and 1 block. He's got... And that'll do it for us.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Porzingis having a dominant impact in this game.
The way he was able to finish on the block was incredible there in that first half.
Yeah, you know what? I think he's doing exactly what he has to do. Using his body, shaking off contact, and then finishing at the rim.
We've got Jalen Brunson. He's out there with Tim Hardaway Jr. Porzingis is out there with Doncic. And it's Finney Smith in at the power forward position. So that's who Rick Carlisle starts the second half with.
And in a relatively short time, Fournier has really increased his role in the league. I mean, he's a player you have to guard and keep an eye on at all times.
Inside, Okeke, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. We're seeing more and more young coaches in the NBA. You think this is a trend? Is it completely circumstantial? What's your view on that?
Well, I think you've got more younger coaches that are capable and able to coach. And the league is quite young, too. I think it's a current trend. But we've seen that before in decades past when it seems the wave of coaches are younger. I think it's more or less kind of the cycle of life that we see across a lot of different industries.
Shoots from the elbow. Porzingis with the rebound.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And, Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, for Nick Vucevic, there were some great firsts last season. His son, Philip, was born in December. And then Dad made his first All-Star appearance. Nick is from a basketball family. He said, "I'll enjoy telling my son the stories, like my dad did with me. We'll see if he likes the game of basketball. I think he will." Kevin?
LDA, it's certainly in his genes. Thanks for that report.
Tell you what, that is a missed opportunity from mid-range for sure. With as little defense as was shown, should have made that one.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Yep, they'll be trying to draw that next foul quickly so they can start getting those easy chances at the strike.
Marjanovic checked in for the Mavericks. Orlando also making some changes. Terrence Ross comes in for Aaron Gordon, and DJ Augustine subbed in for Markelle Fultz.
You know, typically, guys, Augustine is setting others up. Nice to see him get a pass himself and drill the shot. Boy, a big summer for the Mavs here in 2019. Huge cap room. They were looking to stock up on veteran talent while Doncic was still on that rookie contract. Pretty solid position for the Mavericks.
You talk about the aggressive summer for the Mavericks. The max extension for Porzingis was a given.
Yeah, I agree. And you take a look at what else they needed. More shooting, two-way veteran players if they're going to make a push for the playoffs.
Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. The pass to Fournier. Now Aminu. Back to Fournier. It's deflected.
You know, I like that Doncic, guys, doesn't back down on defense and tries to make it hard for his opponents.
Shot clock at 5. From deep three-point range.
The activity on defense by Seth Curry, very good. Reaching, staying with his man, moving his feet. He's a good, solid position defender.
And the dunk by Doncic.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat.
Now's the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
Passes it to Ross. Back to Augustine. He kicks it to Bamba. Augustine against Curry. Pass to Bamba from outside the arc. Powell pulls it in. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for the Mavericks. Next step for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home.
Yeah, letting it rip. They're just having fun right now.
Yeah, offensively, they've just been rolling. Impossible to stop.
And it'll be Orlando with their first time out of the game right here.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
And, you know, I think he's going to tell them simply, we have to show more fight on the interior. That's the top priority right now.
Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Dallas. Barea comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Aminu misses.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
On when you see that step back 3, Clark for Doncic. Shades of James Harden, the way he gets that shot off.
And you know what? They say Luka's deceleration, hitting the brakes and stopping suddenly, is top-notch, just like James Harden's. So that's quite a compliment. A lot of that is footwork and balance, but I think his quickness, too, guys, has been a little bit underrated. This guy is a little better athlete than he gets credit for.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Barea against Augustine. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet. Augustine's got 5.
Yeah, you know, that's a main weapon in Augustine's offensive attack. I mean, he's very comfortable rising up from this area.
Some nice passing here by Dallas. Orlando grabs the miss.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
Doncic, no good.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Fournier against Doncic. Doncic with the steal. And the dunk by Doncic.
Boy, for a young player, it's so good to see Doncic make an effort on both ends like we saw there.
It's deflected, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Curry.
And always a bit of risk on those long passes. Lucky the D couldn't come up with it there.
Here's Augustine. Nice shot from the wing. 7 points in the game. And so it's the Dallas Mavericks. 13 points up at the end of the period. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Yeah, that's just a brilliant read of the defense. I mean, it was also excellent anticipation of the movement of his teammates before the pass. Just great harmony on all sides.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. And so in the game for the Magic, at the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Markelle Fultz out there with DJ Augustine. And it's Okeke in at the 3 spot. Great positioning on the putback. And the Mavericks lead by 13.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by.
But only if you grind hard enough to get yourself in tight before the shot goes up, guys. You've got to get your work done before the shot is attempted.
And the basket by Gordon.
You know, that kind of unselfishness, guys, from Augustine is really infectious, especially when it's coming from your point guard.
The mid-range jump shot, you've talked about this a lot, is still valuable if you can hit it with consistency.
Yeah, and if it's a quality shot, Kevin, I think you should shoot it. Move the defense, move the ball to get a quality shot, and I think one of the very best at knocking down the mid-range jump shot, Kevin Durant clearly. But how about Chris Middleton? Elite mid-range jump shooter, and DeMar DeRozan as well has a strong mid-range game too. An elite scorer, demonstrating once again how fast he can fill it up.
The Magic trail by 14. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now, and it's in there.
Just a positive force right now for these guys, and though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
And the Mavericks call time here. Regarding super teams, Clark, you and I have talked a lot about this. Many fans view them in a negative light, but they're actually something we've seen around in this game for a long time.
Yeah, you're right. So often we become prisoners of the present and we forget about what transpired in the past, but the Celtics in the 60s were as dominant as any team in the history of the game. The Lakers in the 80s, the Bulls in the 90s. But I guess fans have a complaint because they feel those teams came together more organically compared to what seems to be a movement by free agents that has led to dominant championship teams, although the Warriors pretty much have built their championship team through the draft.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, during that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear Rick Carlisle's message to his team. His key message was, don't get comfortable. Those guys are going to come at us with everything they've got. Let's bring the intensity and stay focused on every possession. Kevin, back to you.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear, it's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
Gordon outside. They grab their own miss. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's on Porzingis.
And over time, Vucevic has really developed a nice pump fake, and that often leads to him earning trips to the foul line.
Well, they say the post-up big man is dead and gone in the NBA, but don't tell that to Nikola Vucevic. An offensive focal point, and he does some of his best work on that low block.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And the foul goes against Orlando. And you look at the footwork of Vucevic inside, his moves and counter moves, terrific.
Shades of Kevin McHale. And that's something he's continued to develop in the pros, a response to defenders who often surpass him athletically.
You know, after a drought of 6 years, the Magic made the playoffs last season, won 4 straight at the end to grab the 7th seed.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over. Clark, you look at Orlando's breakout season. They won 42 games after winning just 25 the season before.
And you look at the roster, lots of length. And you really have to love their young nucleus. A lot of good players that are getting better. I think these guys are really just scratching the surface of their potential.
Unloads from 13. Fultz, no good. Mavericks leading by 17. Here's Finney Smith, and he jams it with authority.
Relentless in their approach, even with the game firmly in hand.
And, you know, until that final buzzer sounds, I mean, you've got to treat every possession like it's crucial.
Pass to Fultz. On the wing, Gordon. Guarded by Marjanovic. Vucevic trying to get open. And it's Gordon missing.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
The pass to Brunson. Porzingis finds Marjanovic. Outside Hardaway. And stolen by Gordon.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for Dallas.
And they had to battle for this win. There were times when it looked like it was maybe slipping away a bit, but they never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
And that's a product of their mental toughness. Anytime the flow of the game turned against them, instead of caving, they just dialed it up a notch and were able to pull away.
And now, for the year, this is going to take them to 7 wins.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
It sure is. It's just a two-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
And as usual, some excellent work tonight in what was a quality big impact game for Luka Doncic.
He was everywhere defensively, offensively. The effort we saw from him tonight, I think, was the difference.
Now here's Fultz. He's guarded closely. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. And the foul called on Terrence Ross. That's his first foul.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
Dallas moving it around. And it's good, 2 points.
And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, you know, once they got victory in their view, a huge injection of energy and a great run to finish it off.
The tray doesn't go that time. So we see the Mavericks taking the win here.